right? And number two, there's one less place for somebody or some people to go for entertainment.
Grand Bahamas' only movie theater is closed. I'm Italia Hall. I'll tell you why straight ahead.
Operations are back to normal at a leading government agency. Summer temperatures continue to climb.
We are going through some extreme heat.
Join us for reports on surviving the heat.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. It's so great to have you with us. Topping news, Grand Bahamas' ailing economy being dealt another blow as a local business that has been a part of this island's community has closed. For a week now, there have been reports circulating stating that the only movie theater on the island, Galleria Cinemas, has closed its doors. Company officials posting a notice outside of the establishment that, effective July 5th, the movie theater would no longer be in operation. Tonight, residents are weighing in on this recent closure and what it means for those persons who have lost their jobs. Italia Hall reports.
The news sent shockwaves across the island when residents found out that Grand Bahamas' only movie theater, Galleria Cinemas on the Mall, Freeport, had closed. Residents flocked to social media to share what they call a disturbing, unprecedented notice. Now our ZNS News team spoke with some residents on Grand Bahama, and they believe that the closure of this theater is bad news for the economy of Grand Bahama and are calling on the powers that be to look into the situation.
Not having access to watching those films is really an abomination. Really, really, really. I think it would have been the last resort for a facility like that to close down. And I'm hoping really that it is only temporarily, that they're probably doing some renovation and that it will reopen.
For one, some people out of work, all right? And number two, there's one less place for somebody or some people to go for entertainment.
Now it's the summer. The children had you had some place where you could send your children. And now, I mean, nothing. We don't have nowhere to go, nothing to do. This is horrible. Something needs to happen. Something needs to happen in Grand Bahama.
Many believe that with the advancement of technology, some movie theaters are taking a severe economic hit. Persons have been finding other means to access movies.
Netflix and movie box and stuff and things, I mean, people are doing them, especially because of the bills and stuff. People are looking for other ways to survive. They're looking for other ways to survive.
Everything on the internet now, everybody's watching movies on the internet right now. So I think it's so hard for them to advertise the movie or bring the price a little bit down. How like family nights, like a package deal for to bring them back in. Bring the crowd in.
Princess King and Marcia Smith say they believe the theater was losing more than they were gaining, and they understand that when it comes to doing business, one must consider the bottom line.
Yeah, the summer and the children need somewhere to go, but if it doesn't add up to or measure up to their costs, to their overhead costs.
Really, when you look at it, I think that theater stayed open pretty long based on what's going on here in Grand Bahamas.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now, ZNS News spoke with the legal counsel for Galleria Cinemas, attorney Gregory Moss. Moss stated that the movie theater was forced to close due to the economic challenges on Grand Bahama.
Galleria has made some decisions nationwide, not just for Grand Bahama. And persons would recall the closure of JFK, the JFK operation some weeks ago. As a repercussion of that decision, there have been some other implications, some other business decisions that have had to be made, and those have involved what we believe to be the temporary closure of Galleria Cinemas. I can't go much more into that, but I can say this, that we are counsel for Galleria Cinemas, and we've been authorized to say that Galleria is committed to the operation of the cinema in Grand Bahama. We fully expect that the closure will be resolved. The number of persons at Galleria who were impacted directly were 15 persons. That may not sound like a lot, but in an economy like Grand Bahama, that is significant.
Moss explained that in the face of mounting financial concerns, company officials had no other recourse but to post the notice.
It was a reaction to what I referred to as some repercussions of other business decisions that have been made. and the notice was by Galleria to make its patrons as aware as quickly as Galleria could have of the temporary closure. That is unfortunate, but again, in this climate, that was not the preferred outcome for Galleria, and they are working assiduously to have that outcome reversed within the next week or so.
Tonight, ZNS News has an update on the operational woes at the Road Traffic Department in the National Insurance Building. For some 2 months, employees of that government agency were without working air conditioning while major renovations were underway, hence resulting in the implementation of a reduction in work hours from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. A malfunction of the air conditioning compressor was identified, and officials stated that it had to be replaced. Well, today, the senior executive officer at the Road Traffic Department, Charmaine Fernandez, had some good news. She told ZNS News that a new compressor has been installed and now operations are back to normal.
We're happy to say that we're now air conditioned and we work 9 to 4 o'clock to the public. I'd like to thank the public for being patient with us in our renovation process, and hopefully that we'll be in good order for you.
Automobile body shops are now in big demand on Grand Bahama. The industry has expanded over the years, giving consumers a number of options. Tonight, a local businessman is sharing some challenges within the industry, along with some valuable advice, noting that an educated consumer is an empowered consumer. Italia Hall reports.
The importation of damaged vehicles is a big business. Residents, whether through auctions or private sellers, have been purchasing damaged vehicles abroad, would import them to Grand Bahama, and usually have them repaired at a local body shop. A local businessman, Jason Johnson, who's originally from New Providence, decided to bring his business to Grand Bahama back in the 90s. This business owner says back then he saw more opportunity on this northern island, and his business has grown tremendously. Sometimes he says he has a total of 60 vehicles to repair each month.
So back then, they only had a few shops were open. They had like about 4 shops that were open business-wise. But after coming from where in Nassau, we had like about 75, maybe 80 shops or more. It was a lot more competition. But when we came here, it was much laid back, slow. A lot of opportunity was here versus back inside Nassau. So that's what made me made up my mind to stay in Grand Bahama.
However, this success has not come without some challenges. Johnson shared some of the do's and don'ts of this industry and had some sound advice for residents contemplating taking their vehicle to a body shop.
If you take a vehicle to an auto shop, basically try to get something in writing, because if a guy said he's going to have it finished in 2 weeks, okay, leave it open. I say, come back in a month. Maybe because of the amount of work that he have to do, I would tell you come back in a month time. But don't leave such a large amount of money cash down, because if the parts are $500, then leave the parts money and just put a portion of the labor money, versus you just going and paying 75% down or maybe 80%, and then when the guys look at it, there's nothing else left for them to get once the job is finished.
And for persons who may just be starting out in the field, Johnson had these words of wisdom.
Don't just try to give something halfway. If you do the best that you could and you can try and please customers, people are going to always come back to you. So that's the whole idea. So I mean, even if you started with one car, make sure that car is the best car that you can actually put out on there on the market, and that's going to be advertisement for you thereon, because once that person sees that vehicle, they're going to ask who did it. And then they're going to be the ones who are going to be coming and saying, instead of you going and advertising to try and bring people to you, once you put the best work out there, they're going to just come to you automatically.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.